And now,
it's 10 a.m.
let's just get down to it.
And it's time for your sports fix.
Strap yourselves in, folks.
From two guys who have covered the teams you're passionate about for years.
We are professionals.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, thank you for making us a part of your Friday. How's it going over there, Ben?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. I have a new favorite pastime.
Okay.
Talking to Christian about having children.
Oh yeah.
It's like my favorite thing. Christian and his lovely wife are expecting. When are we expecting?
April 3rd.
Winona. What's your wife's name?
Julia.
Julia, not Winona.
You were way off.
Yeah. Well, his parents are millennials. I thought maybe they named their
after Winona, after
Judd, Miss or Ryder.
They're not millennials.
Your dad's 50th birthday yesterday?
Yes.
He's a millennial.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, might as well be.
76. I think that's Gen X.
Yeah, it still is.
So
shout out. 50.
Anyway, and Christian is going to be a great dad and all the things. But I was talking to him today about, because I'm not a morning person and never really have been, and he's not really a morning person either. And I understand the apprehension about, okay, well, all that's going out the window. But I ran this theory by him, and tell me what you think, and then we can jump into the news of the day. That newborn is such a shock to the system. Everything else actually is easier from there. Like the adjustments to your kid. Like my daughter got up at 5:30 this morning. Like the adjustment to getting 5 hours of sleep and having an early, rise from a child is less severe than you think, because the newborn phase is such an adjustment. So any ease from there actually feels like a blessing. And you're actually grateful that your 4-year-old is getting you up at 5:30 as opposed to your 4-month-old who hasn't slept for 2.5 consecutive hours in weeks.
I bet newborn is not the hardest, but it is the biggest change in your life you ever make.
Right. And physically, it's the hardest.
Yeah. If you got dropped into having a 3-year-old, that's way more difficult than having a newborn. Newborns, right. You change, you feed, they go to bed. Like, it's not that hard for the first 6 months or whatever, and it just probably does get increasingly more intensive until a certain point, then it falls off.
Well, and the challenge changes.
Yeah.
I mean, wrangling a toddler and trying to convince them to eat their vegetables is incredibly challenging, but it's not necessarily like my whole sleep schedule, operation pattern is all out the window.
Yeah. You don't have to restructure everything.
Restructure your whole life around, a 3-year-old not eating their vegetables. Whereas that is probably more maddening than feeding a newborn. Although I did tell Christian this challenge, and I don't know if you remember this one, but there's 3 things you can do for a newborn when they're crying. Mm-hmm. Feed them, change them, or put them to sleep.
Yep.
But what happens when you've tried all 3?
Yeah. You put them in the car and you go drive around.
And that cry is still going. Yeah, you figure you try whatever you can.
Yeah, whatever you can.
I'm going to bounce different. I'm going to put on a record. I'll take a drive rather. But when it doesn't work, the feeling of futility is really
one of the hardest
really
parts.
Frustrating.
This was certainly for me with my firstborn, was when I couldn't help his mom anymore. I didn't know what to do to make her life easier with the child. She was trying to feed him or whatever, and it's like, this is something that's kind of specific to you two that I physically can't feed you. Uh-huh. So what do I do now to help to make this easier?
Can I give an answer to that? Don't expect any courtesy or deference at all. Yeah. That's what you can do for her. Yeah. Like, I remember, and again, we can move on. But I remember my wife was breastfeeding Maggie. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't have a whole lot of role in that. But you know what she did? She was completely not considerate of my sleeping, or like she would turn on the light when she was doing it and bring the baby right in. And I absolutely was disturbed. And you know what I did?
Didn't say a word.
Did not say a dang word.
Whatever you got to do.
I say, you feed that kid.
Yeah.
You make it happen. You turn off the light when you're done, and you don't worry about me. So just let her do her thing.
Do whatever.
And don't be like, hey, what's with the light?
No criticism.
Can't you be a little quieter? Jeez.
But she's a NICU nurse. She's gone through it.
Yeah, she does it for a living.
She knows how to do it.
All right.
Meanwhile, you babysit Jake and I, which is nice of you.
Once again, it was one heck of a night to be in the radio command center over at Delta Center.
No kidding.
I love these nights. I get sad when football is over and we do not have these nights where we're just consuming great sports. I mean, the Jazz game was a fun game to watch, actually.
Really good, yeah.
I mean, after the last Dallas game was borderline unbearable, this one was super fun to watch, which we can dive into it. But the what I almost said national championship game, it wasn't that, but the semifinal or the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
Fiesta Bowl, yeah.
Which somebody pointed out online is kind of funny because Verbo has a no party policy, but they're sponsoring the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
It's like a little kind of a conflict of interest there. Does Airbnb allow parties? It should be the Airbnb Fiesta Bowl.
I hate Airbnb, but yeah.
Why? What'd they do to you?
It's just always ridiculous. It's just the rules are you go in and every house is different. They have different expectations for you every time.
Ben can't smoke his Camels in
Correct. How am I supposed to go to bed at night without a lit cigarette in my mouth?
Is Verbo the one with Nick Saban in the commercials?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one.
That guy's no fun.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, that game was really good and kind of on its way to being a snoozer, and then quickly was not a snoozer. Although I will tell you, Carson Beck may have the most noodle arm in college football for somebody who's been successful.
Does he have 2 titles as a backup, but has 2 titles?
One is a backup, one is a starter.
Yeah, with Georgia.
And now $5 million in his pocket.
Yeah, there's a reason they let him go to Miami.
Yeah, they're like,
even though, hey, he's going to the national title game or whatever. But have you ever seen more underthrown balls in a football game in your life? I mean, it actually won him the game by underthrowing the ball and drawing a pass interference penalty. It worked a few times.
Yeah, he's a very classic good, not great quarterback.
But anyway, the Miami receivers were just beating Ole Miss they were nothing. Like they were standing still, running toward the end zone, and a ball ends up 10 yards short. Just noodle arm. I was trying to think of a local comparison. Who's a local quarterback that just could not throw the deep ball?
Brian Johnson couldn't throw a deep ball.
Well, by the end, because his arm was barely attached to his body.
Yeah.
Because he had so many shoulder issues by the end. That is
Cam
definitely
Rising
true.
did not have a big arm.
No, he did not. That was not his strong suit. I don't remember him underthrowing a ton of balls, though.
No, he had accuracy issues.
But see,
he missed guys.
Like with Brian Johnson, great example. Except for they didn't ever go downfield. He never threw more than 10 yards that entire season.
Yeah, right.
Well, actually, it was the season before where it was particularly notable because, remember, Brian got hurt against Oregon State early in the season, and I believe it was terrible Tommy Grady that came in, and didn't they lose to UNLV? They lost to somebody else, too. And Witt was like, Brian, we know that you can't complete a forward pass, but guess what?
Tape it back up.
Tape it up? Put some Advil on it.
We're going out there.
Get in there and win us some football games. But they never really went downfield with Brian Johnson. Travis Wilson, the Travis Wilson Kenneth Scott combo drew a lot of pass interferences. But by that point, Kenneth Scott had the Brian Johnson thing where he had so many knee issues and all this stuff. His top end speed was not huge, and so the corner would kind of run up his back. I don't know if that was Travis Wilson underthrowing it or what. Jordan Wynn, I guess, wasn't really.
Well, he did the same thing. He had a pretty big arm when he first started,
and then got hurt,
got destroyed.
Yeah, because Taysom's issues were that he had a really strong arm.
He was just a freak athlete.
But no, he was like me on the golf course. Like if I'm swinging away, if I'm swinging my club 100%,
you can get the ball down
I'm
there.
not bad. But you asked me to go, hey, hit this wedge about 42, 45%, somewhere in there. Oh, dude, it's going into the next fairway.
And Taysom had no accuracy at all.
Just gunslinger, just slinging that thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. Different quarterbacks are different, but Carson Beck cannot throw the ball downfield.
Hey, that final drive though, that was big, and it certainly has the poise and being able to recognize that, the defense is not looking at me, and I don't run a lot, but I can run this one in, and he did, and Miami's moving on.
Well, let's start college football, because I thought coaching really mattered in that game from this standpoint. Honestly, Miami should have steamrolled Ole Miss.
Okay.
They were the better team. Their defense certainly played much better in the first half, but Ole Miss could not stop the run. Miami was cranking off 10-yard runs just by running it up the gut. And then Mario Cristobal, who I am up in the air on at best.
I've generally been pretty out
as a coach. All of a sudden, he's pulling these passes and flea flickers and all this stupid crap when all they had to do was run the ball. That's it. Like, Ole Miss was not stopping the run. They could have chewed the clock. It was Kyle Winningham's
Just
dream.
funny as an offensive coordinator, or as an offensive lineman, I should say.
Yeah.
That being his background, not trusting the run.
Well, maybe his OC is trying to usurp him or something.
Yeah.
But like it was almost like watching what's his name in San Francisco blow a Super Bowl. Like, all you got to do is run it, dude. What are you doing? So I didn't really understand it. It felt like Miami shot themselves in the foot a bunch of times and then made a play or two when it actually mattered. I mean, Beck, ironically, running the ball in for the winning score. I mean, that's where they had the advantage. They were dominating up front all game. And how many interceptions can you actually drop? I think Miami was really trying to set the record.
Set a new record. But they got the win. It's pretty amazing that Miami's back in.
It was funny. We were watching in the radio command center, and it was like, ask me how I know why that guy isn't a wide receiver.
No hands.
Because Oven Mitts there just botched that thing badly.
You believe Miami's back? And is this a bad night for Notre Dame, who wanted to get in over Miami in the ACC? They wanted that representation, and Miami has now made it all the way to the national title game?
Well, no, because Notre Dame is saying, well, that would have been us.
Yeah.
That's all they're saying.
We were better than Miami.
People are thinking like Notre Dame is eating crow. They're not.
Imagine if Duke was in this playoff, man.
Yeah, right.
Be making a run.
Virginia.
Okay, so that's an interesting question. Is Miami back? Absolutely not. But I think this is a comment on a couple of things in college sports. One, the chaos has actually evened the playing field.
It has.
And I thought the opposite. Again, I love admitting when I'm wrong. But I thought the traditional halves would play to their advantage even more. And that hasn't really turned out to be the case. And it has really evened things. And I think there's a variety of reasons there, different budgets. But you know what? I mean, Michigan, Kyle Whittingham can't pay everybody. Everybody's still got a limited amount of money. And I think it has affected the depth. And all of a sudden, good players who were like, okay, I'll be second or third string at Alabama. I'll wait it out, and I'll go into the into the NFL draft, and I'll get drafted in the first round because Alabama. And when I eventually ended up starting, we were really, really good. And that was and Alabama was probably paying them, and that was the thing. But now, why would I take pennies on the dollar to be the third string at Alabama when I could be the first string at...
Well, there's Kima kid who just transferred from Ohio State. He's an offensive lineman, transfers from Ohio State to come play at Utah. He saw the writing on the wall. I'm not going to start next year at Ohio State. Utah's going to pay me six figures, whatever, and I'm going to come in and start.
And the truth is, coaches aren't always right, and coaches' priorities aren't always the same. I mean, the great Urban Meyer is addicted to picking the wrong quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Consistently.
Yeah. He's done it a number of times. And so Joe Burrow says, all right, I'll go to LSU and be one of the best college football quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
But I think it's evened things out a little bit. But the other thing is the end of the game has moved. There's now another quarter. It's now not 4 quarters, it's 5 quarters. Miami would never even be in this position or even close under the old rules.
Oh, sure, to make the playoff.
To make the playoff. So you're telling me, is Miami back? Do you remember the 0-2 Miami team?
Yes. Talking about it last night with my brother who was over.
I mean, really, if you look at Miami there was a little bit of, what was that guy's name? Butch Jones. There was a little bit of, punishment from the NCAA in there, but basically from like 96 to 2002, there were some of the best college football teams of all time. Even that team that lost to Ohio State with Willis McGahee was absolutely incredible. I mean, I saw that tape they were playing. You see a young Ed Reed just moseying around in the background. It's like, oh, yeah, you forget Clinton Portis. You forget how absolutely unbelievable those teams were. He went to Texas Tech, but...
Oh, he played with Miami Dolphins.
He played with the Dolphins,
That's
yeah.
right. Excuse me.
But they were just absolutely incredible. Is this Tub that won last night as good as those teams? No, not even close.
Not, yeah.
And those teams, that was the thing back in the day where you prove it. You win undefeated. You beat everybody in front of you. It wasn't this, well, I could lose 2 or 3 and still have an outside chance at it. Catch a sleeping Ohio State team who can't handle our defensive line, Like, it would have been over. They would have been eliminated a long time ago. So no, I don't think that, well, Miami's back. I think much like the NCAA tournament, they got some matchups in front of them. They're playing their best football at the right time, and a team that lost to a dreadful SMU team is still alive to play for the title. And I guess people, want that, but don't expect me to say that this is the same as those Miami teams. It is not.
I don't think the chaos, and I'm with you. I don't expect this to be a dynasty under Mario Cristobal at Miami.
No, I'll bet you. In fact, I'll bet you he's fired in 2 years.
Yeah, it's probably more likely than they return to the national championship. You said the chaos has created some evenness. What I really think is, and you did address it, is that I just think the quote-unquote halves that we used to talk about were just cheating. Like, I'm not trying to be controversial saying that. I just think the SEC schools were paying players, and we know they were, and doing it at a better rate, and everybody was, but they were doing it better than anybody else was, and paying more money than anybody else was, and as soon as everybody could pay, their advantage went away. And then nobody needed to go play at Alabama.
But it's not that simple necessarily. Like, you're right, but here's the thing. So in the SEC, in their footprint, the millionaire car dealer who's willing to stuff a couple grand in a paper sack and give it to a player, the SEC is swimming in those. The rules have changed. So now the millionaire car dealer, well, that's just a drop in the bucket. Thanks for your contribution to the NIL fund. Have a nice day. Here's your free pass to here's your $5 off coupon to our official tailgate.
Yeah.
That's how much that guy matters anymore. Because think about this just from a sheer budget standpoint. When the SEC was bribing teams or bribing players, what do you think their total payroll was?
Oh, not crazy.
Like $1 million, maybe.
Yeah.
$500,000?
Yeah, right.
Dude, the budgets for these teams. I've heard that Pope is paying his basketball team at Kentucky $22 million.
Yeah. Boy, that's bad money. That's money poorly spent.
Poorly spent. But a lot of money nonetheless. Yeah. And that's the basketball team. So now all of a sudden, where do you get that money? And this is relevant locally too. Like, where does Utah make up the gap? Where does Utah get that money, that whatever $1 million you're going to spend on your football program? Where on earth does that come from? And at Vanderbilt, interestingly enough, we got a bunch of alum that are swimming in dough that are willing to pony up. Hey, Indiana, they have others, but Mark Cuban stepped up. If you spent time in the Midwest, Indiana, the University of Indiana has a big presence all over the Midwest.
Yeah.
So, the rules have changed. So the teams with the resources now are different than the teams before. Now, maybe there are teams like Miami that do still have a ton of resources and were willing to bribe players back in the day. But I think not only have the rules changed in the sense that everybody can do it or is permitted or should do it or whatever the case may be, the budgets have changed so much that universities that were once considered flush aren't necessarily flush. Is Alabama flush?
No.
I keep reading reports and hearing stories all over town that they don't have near the dough some of these other schools do.
For sure.
So, and advantage BYU. Look at it locally. BYU has way more resources than the University of Utah does.
Yeah. Most teams in the West. Not everyone, but most teams in the West.
Most teams in the West.
Yeah.
I bet they could go toe-to-toe with Texas Tech.
Yeah, for sure.
Stanford, if they ever cared about football, could actually have an advantage.
Yeah.
So could Cal. But they're battling, because the Stanford mechanical engineering department is actually begging for that money too, and they're more likely to get it.
Is it my guy Sam Bankman-Fried? Robin Cal blind.
No, well, yeah, because he sponsored their stadium. But I think he's actually a Stanford guy, right? Or his parents are Stanford.
I think he dropped out, didn't he?
People. I don't know. Isn't he? He's sharing a cell with Diddy now, right? And Nicolas Maduro. Aren't they all in the same prison?
Still in jail. Tough one for FTX. Everyone who bought in.
Old Sam talking to Nick Maduro. We'll see you at chow time.
Me and Diddy.
That was the most Cal thing ever when that all went down. It's like, oh, they're the stadium sponsor at Cal. Hope he got paid in cash.
Oh, he went to MIT.
Well, there you go.
Shout out Sam.
He has some connection to Stanford.
His parents.
Is that what it is?
Right. He was born in Stanford, California, which I didn't know was a town.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. Way to go, Sam. Good luck. I don't think he's going to be out for a while. Diddy's going to be out before he is.
But it'll be curious.
Who knows on Maduro?
We're going to have an Indiana-Miami national championship, and I think Indiana's going to steamroll them. I mean, I just think Indiana is so much better than everybody else. And talk about ultimate chaos. Indiana is a great football team nobody saw coming.
Miami at least has the ultimate equalizer, and that's a really dominant D-line.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, that's how you pull an upset in a big game like that. You have a dominant D-line that plays out of its mind. That's how Texas Tech won the Big 12.
Yeah. And Oregon has a very good defense as well. We'll see if they're able to fight and put up a good fight tonight against Indiana.
Cristobal going up against his old team would be kind of funny.
It would be. There's some good storylines.
Old salty Dan Lanning. He'd have something to say about it.
As we were talking about, Mendoza Moore is the top two players in the draft, top two quarterbacks in the draft come up tonight. So that's going to be a great storyline as well.
All right, top three stories of the day at KSLSports.com coming up next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top three stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Corrections and retractions. Ricky Williams did not go to the University of Miami, but he also did not go to Texas Tech. Now, the Ricky Williams we were talking about, or you were talking about, went to Texas. But there was, yes, a Ricky Williams who was a running back who played for Texas Tech at the very same time.
He also did play for Miami, the Miami Dolphins.
Which is not related to the Miami Hurricanes, although they play in the same stadium, I suppose.
Ricky doesn't remember where he played either, so it doesn't really matter.
All right, top three stories. Where do you Where do you want to start today?
Number one, BYU gets perhaps the biggest run it back of them all. LJ Martin announced he's returning to BYU.
Are you surprised that, not that, LJ Martin was on the defensive side of the ball. He's not. But are you surprised that Michigan hasn't been able to poach more players so far from Utah and BYU?
No.
Specifically BYU.
Although, John Henry Daly is going to Michigan. We found that out this morning.
Yeah.
From Utah.
J.J. Buchanan probably ends up there as well.
Do they want many players from BYU? I guess would be my question.
I would suspect you want Tanuvasa.
I know there are a couple they probably want and did not get.
Yeah.
But, I mean, would they want? I mean, Michigan's defense was really good last year. I mean, how much do they really want? You know what I mean? Because Witt looks like his retention at Michigan was really good.
Yeah, it did. And yes, to that point, did they want Satwala? I bet they did. Did they want Glasker? I bet they did. Did they want Tanuvasa? Probably. Seems like they're going to strike out.
Yeah. Do they want anybody else? I don't know.
Yeah.
As far as LJ Martin goes, listen, I almost guarantee he's making more at BYU than he would in the NFL.
Being a fourth-round draft pick.
This is the conundrum. The NFL, the way it structures its salaries, they don't pay rookies anything.
Yeah.
I mean, even the top picks. Do you remember who was the guy that BYU injured who was the last number one pick who truly got paid?
At Oklahoma?
Yeah. Who was? God, why am I going Bradford? Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
After he made $1 zillion with his rookie contract. Yeah. Then they had the lockout. Then they restructured everything. And now not even the top picks are making any money. Brock Purdy was making famously what? It's like $500,000 a year or something.
Yeah.
And if you're a rookie running back in the 4th round, like pretty much none of that is guaranteed.
I mean, you've seen the graphic floating around that Carson Beck is making more this year at Miami than Shedeur Sanders is.
That bozo for Vanderbilt is suing to come back again because they're going to make more.
Make way more.
You're going to make way more money as the starting running back at BYU than you would as the 4th round pick of the Raiders.
Yeah.
Fourth round picks make about $4 to $5 million over the course of the 4-year deal, right? So you're just over $1 million per year.
Yeah. And Beck is making $4.5 million this year.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get cut after a year and a half,
right? Yeah, then you're not guaranteed that money at all.
You're not seeing hardly any of that. So,
and to that point, I'd bet LJ is making more than just over $1 million.
I would guess.
Right? Yeah, he's probably making more than Tyler Algier.
Well, he's been in the league a while, but I get your point.
But honestly,
he's on his last year of his rookie deal.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, Algier was a 7th-round draft pick. Yeah, he'll make more next year, and that's the advantage. Now, this is a little bit more of an NBA thing than an NFL thing, but getting to your second contract is the value, right? You want to get there as soon as possible, so you leave for the NBA or the NFL, now in the NFL after your junior year or redshirt sophomore year, just to start your clock. So by the time you are, 23, you're getting that non-rookie deal. But no, it makes absolute sense for LJ Martin to come back. Way more money.
So that's good news for BYU. I mean, BYU should be a favorite in the conference next year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm saying
Yeah. They and Texas Tech are going to be the top 2 teams again. It's no coincidence they've got the most money.
Makes a ton of sense.
Yep. And you get all these guys that are coming back, and you're bringing in transfers from Oregon. And it seems like a new offensive lineman coming over from Washington, it looks like. You're in good shape.
Maybe they'll actually let the Bear throw it, and
I suspect Bear's going to be better next year.
They can move the football.
A lot of it comes up to Mr. Golden himself. K-Pop, how's he able to do with this defense? Is this defense able to execute as well as they did last year?
Going up. Going to be promoted.
They won a lot of close games last year, and the defense was a huge part of that. So are they able to do that again?
All right, what's next?
Number 2, last night the Jazz get one over Dallas. Keyonte George hit a big shot at the end, kind of going viral on social media for that one.
Was it Zeke Naji who was guarding him at
no, it was Najee Marshall.
Zeke Naji doesn't even play for, Najee Marshall. Mixed up my Najis. Guards him in half court. Keyonte in the past would have absolutely turned that ball over. You know what I mean? Like Keyonte even made the mistake of drilling himself into that corner where the out-of-bounds line and the backcourt line are second and third defenders. Gets Najee on his back, then gets matched up with Cooper Flagg, who's a very good defender, turns Cooper Flagg around, and then hits him with a step back. It's like, that you were talking about the Jazz's clutch offense being so much better. That was a part of it. And then, you know what you said yesterday was how well Lauri had done driving the ball. Go back and watch Lowry's highlights. I'm sure it's posted or pinned at the top of the Jazz. All drives, all against Anthony Davis, who's still at his best as a top 10 player in the NBA. Now, he's not at his best. He broke his hand last night on the second to last possession of the game. I mean, he just cannot stay healthy. But Lauri just went at Anthony Davis over and over and over, and it's one of the more impressive games Lowry's ever had, and I mean that. Like, Anthony Davis is awesome, and Lauri did not care that he was there, and Lauri took advantage of every physical tool he had, shooting over smaller guys, driving past bigger guys, dunking, being super physical with offensive rebounds. Like, Lauri was terrific last night.
Now, Anthony Davis, in his defense, probably didn't care that he was there either.
No.
And that was his...
Looking at real estate in Miami or in Atlanta.
Oh, and that's all over. If his hand's broken, he's not going anywhere.
No, he's not.
I mean, Dallas is truly cursed. Trading for Anthony Davis was such a monumental mistake. I mean, when will Davis be able to play again? Was it a break? I had not seen the news that it was a break.
They just said a hand injury, but the fact that he stopped playing defense as soon as that happened, that wasn't, oh, you bent my nail back. Like, he stopped in the middle of a possession with a minute left to play to not play defense against Lauri. And then the next possession, he was holding his hand the entire time.
He held his hand basically the entire time. I didn't see how it, I mean, this sounds gruesome, but I didn't see how it broke.
I think
how he hurt it. It was kind of...
He's playing defense. It's his left hand, and Lauri's driving baseline. So if you can imagine, like, his left hand is his far hand. And I think it just, like, runs into Lauri, whatever it was. Yeah. I don't know if that's a boxer's fracture or whatever it is, but honestly, I think he dislocated something or broke his hand. But it's Mr. Glass over and over again. Regardless, you know what you're supposed to do when your opponent's not playing at 100%? Just kill him. And that's what Lauri did.
Ask me how I know that Dallas really stinks.
How do you know Dallas stinks?
They had the biggest front line. The Jazz did not dress a center.
Right.
Kevin Love was the starting center. Ben and I heard this stat a couple times last night. Did you hear what the Jazz defensive rating is when Kevin Love's at center? 135.
Nice.
Which is
horrendous.
Really,
the worst ever.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Dallas started Daniel Gafford, Anthony Davis, and Cooper Flagg. Huge, truly huge humans.
Yeah. Lopsided. Yeah.
Kevin Love, let me just reiterate that. Kevin Love and Lauri Markkanen, who's not exactly known for his tough stand-up D. However, I will say he played super tough last night and on both sides of the ball, eating elbows, getting blocks. Blocked Anthony Davis at the pinnacle. So I'll give Lauri his due. That lineup should have absolutely steamrolled the Jazz. Did you look last night at points in the paint?
Well, the Jazz held them to 4 points in the paint in the fourth quarter, so it must have been somewhat lopsided towards the Jazz.
64-46.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
Yeah. They stink. I don't know. Cooper Flagg's fine, I guess. But he should have had 40 last night.
Yeah, he should have.
And Keyonte George is standing him up on multiple possessions. Yeah. All right. Well, shout out to Keyonte.
No, Dallas is a mess. Now you have Cooper. He's going to pave over so many of your issues and mask them.
Not this year.
But not this year. And they do need their draft pick this year because they don't own any of their draft picks going forward. So they have a real incentive to tank. So in that sense, they probably aren't that sad about losing last night to the Jazz. And they're going to trade Anthony Davis and try and get anything for him. But yeah, if his hand is broken.
Yeah, they're not trading him anywhere.
You're not going to be able to move him that well. So we'll see. We'll see. Keep an eye on that report. That's going to be a big one.
God, why would a team trade for him anyway?
I know
he's not going to play.
Yeah, he never plays. It's the Zion Williamson thing. I get it's appetizing. He's never going to be out there.
And I'm sorry, but players that give up on teams at some point in their career, it's a red flag to me. What he did to New Orleans. I mean, I'm not an NBA GM, and it's easy for me to say, but I don't want any part of that because he'll do that to me. And he was doing that to Dallas last night.
Yeah, it's getting worse. It's just going to get worse.
You're going to slow play it?
Yeah, you're not going to revitalize him. He's great when he's fully engaged. I mean, there were moments last night where it's just like, yeah, that dude is still absolutely awesome and blocking shots and getting back and making big baskets on the other end. And then, yeah, just late he gets hurt or he checks out and just doesn't matter.
And he's getting run over by Lauri.
Yeah.
Run over.
Yep.
Give Lauri his credit, but that's also because Anthony Davis has no interest in standing up Lauri either.
Fully agree.
All right, we have one more?
We do.
What
College
is it?
football playoff
Okay.
semifinals last night gave us a really good game. Then we might have another one tonight.
You saw the Mario Cristobal hug?
No, I missed that.
Who was it? Who was the assistant coach? Did you guys not see this? Okay, so
Well, the Jazz game ended almost simultaneously with the football game, so I
and you were probably right on the air as this is happening.
Lost out on a lot of the post game
I think
stuff.
Hans tweeted it out. I saw it live because I switched right over after the Jazz game, and an assistant coach runs over right after Beck scores the touchdown and hugs Mario Cristobal from behind and is like shaking. And Mario Cristobal gets so mad at his assistant coach, like yells at him.
He went Sark on him?
He yells at him.
They did mention, so I missed seeing it, but they mentioned it because Ole Miss still had the ball.
Yes, the game was not over. And look, Ole Miss drove 60 yards in 12 seconds.
I must have totally missed this.
Yeah, they get all the way down the field to the point where they had a chance to win it, not even with a Hail Mary, with just an actual throw into the end zone. But the psycho that is Mario Cristobal came out a little bit. He showed it a little bit. No fun at all. And again, the game's not over. You don't want to be the guy hugging.
Oh, I just found it.
It's very weird. You don't want to be the guy hugging only to, have to be wiping tears away when you lose 40 seconds later. But it was strange, and it's going to be part of his story. And look, they're going to lose to, I think, whoever comes out with Oregon or Indiana. But certainly I think it's going to be Indiana.
Coaches are such psychos.
So psycho. Yeah.
They're such psychos. And you know what? We were talking about this before the show. Mario, dude, you're on camera the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. If you yell at one of your assistants, it's going to be all over.
Yeah, it is.
Immediately.
Yep.
Does that not run through coaches' brains.
Why would coaches do any of the things they do if you thought that's how they viewed themselves?
This is not like a Will Hardy timeout where the television, like they're likely in commercial.
Yeah, and some fan is
And
filming.
right, it's not that. You're a coach on the sideline, and if you've ever watched a college football game, half the time the camera's on the field, the other half the time it's on the head coach.
Yep.
Or maybe they do the up the nostril shot of the coordinator, which always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's focused right there on the head coach.
Yeah.
After a big play, bam, over to the head coach. If you're yelling at some assistant for giving you a hug.
If you haven't seen it, it's worth going and watching.
Oh, man. Or Sark waiting to run his team onto the field when literally the whole stadium is focused on him.
Some intern is just like, hey.
Oh, is it like a
we've set this
security
up.
guy?
You're going to run out. You're going to run out, but you've got to run out at this moment. Don't run out early. And he kind of like puts his hands on Sark. Sark loses his mind. Sark's such a loser. That guy stinks. That guy's such a bozo. That's the.
Why are you
that
so
guy,
down on Sark all of a sudden?
Sark stinks. Sark is a loser. He's been a loser. He stays a loser. He's a bum guy. Yeah, out on Sark.
He won the
entirely.
Cotton Bowl in 1996.
Local legend.
Cool. Yeah, good for him. Yeah, freaking fight on, man.
Well, that was because of the substances.
But not just the alcohol. It was the pills.
It was the pills.
problem was he
and-
was mixing
and
pills.
the alcohol. We hope he's sober.
Whatever. Whatever.
I did
Do your thing, Sark.
I did enjoy
Go lose at Texas.
I did enjoy the Nick Saban rehab projects though, because he treated them like absolute garbage.
Yes,
when
absolutely.
when they were there.
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna bring this Lane Kiffin down a peg.
Yeah. I'll get you a job at Texas or Ole Miss or LSU
Yeah.
now.
Oh, it was
But
it was good for both those coaches.
You're gonna earn
but
it.
you're gonna pay for
You're
it.
going to pay for it.
You're gonna pay big time. Hilarious.
Big time.
Man, the more that we get separated from Nick Saban actually coaching, the more I think I like him.
I love Nick Saban. Yeah, I'm a huge Saban guy. But I liked him when he was coaching too.
But see, I don't like coaches that take credit for cheating,
Sure.
which I guess is everybody. But like you're writing a book about how great you are. Like John Wooden wrote
Yeah.
a book about what a great coach and philosopher that he is. And
but also,
we
gave Kareem $100,000.
yeah, when everybody else was offering him cafeteria food.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know,
figured it out.
that just bugs me.
No, I'm
for
totally
some,
with you.
for some reason.
Yep.
But the further we get away from it, the kind of funnier it is.
Yeah.
Guess what, Sark? You're going to live in a dorm.
Oh, Saban got out at the perfect time. The SEC, the mirage of the greatness of the SEC is slowly slipping away.
I don't know if the Mouse will ever let that happen.
They're gonna fight it.
Because honestly, it's been happening for a while now, and every year the narrative just resets. Are you like? This year was no different than last year, which is going to be no different than next year, which they're going to say the SEC is the greatest thing since sliced
I
bread,
do
and that's
wonder-
going to last all the way until the end. Until
will.
it's not. I mean, that's just how it is.
I wonder if
That's the magic of the Mouse, Ben.
people will boy who cried wolf them and just say like, yeah, you guys wanted 7 teams in the college football playoff last year.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted 7. You didn't make it to the national championship game. What are you talking about?
But the problem is it's not just the narrative, it's also the muscle behind the
It is.
system.
It
It's
is.
the muscle behind the process. The Mouse owns
Right.
the college football playoff. The Mouse owns the SEC.
How do you control a narrative? You buy the media, right? You
Yeah.
buy the system.
The Mouse owns the college football playoff committee.
Right. So yes, Citizen Kane, you buy the newspaper. You buy ESPN, SEC. I know ESPN bought SEC, but it's the tail that wags the dog. Like what's actually moving things here, and the SEC knows it has. The
You
power.
buy Bill Hancock, the head of the college football playoff committee, who then turns around and does you a solid by not even bringing the media rights up for a bid.
Mm-hmm.
They won't bring it up for a bid. Fox is crying. You see their host, Tim Brando, is screaming it from the mountaintops.
Yeah.
They won't that's how the SEC still remains the quote unquote top dog. Yeah. And we should get 7 schools and they'll still be crying about it next year. What do you bet me?
Yeah.
Alabama, we talk about Miami, Notre Dame complaining about Miami. BYU should complain about Alabama specifically. Alabama should never have been in. Yet they get in and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Well, that's the Mouse.
Yep.
So I don't think that's going away. This is the 3rd year in a row they will not have
a champion.
Not only not a champion, I think it's representation in the title game. We'd have to go back.
Who
and
did
look.
Ohio State beat last year?
Notre Dame. Yeah.
Was it really? Couldn't remember that at all.
But
Wash that away instantly.
But yeah, the SEC hasn't been all that dominant. I mean,
Yeah, post Georgia.
and the SEC always has ridden their top teams. We always thought, oh, the deepest, greatest conference ever. Mississippi State has literally never been good.
Yeah. But again, we just assumed that if you won the SEC, you deserved a spot either in the national championship game or then to the Final Four when they moved that to the 4-team playoff.
So I don't know. I don't think that's going away.
Certainly, they're not going to let it. They're not going to let it just fall out of their hands, slip between their fingers.
Yeah. All right, stay tuned. More next. Jacob Mann, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Get ready to fight on, baby. Let's go!
Who's got it better than us?
Your home for the best sports coverage in Utah. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Mann, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Just talking about some NBA news there during the break, Ben.
Ja Morant apparently on the trade block per Shams Charania. The Grizzlies are now officially listening to trade offers for him. Very funny to see the Washington Wizards pay perceived nickels on the dollar for Trae Young, and then the Memphis Grizzlies be like, get while the getting's good. Why not trade our star point guard that you might not be able to win with right after the market has been set at an absolute bare minimum low for a player of not similar style, but kind of similar ilk, right? If he's on your roster, the rest of your roster has to be built around their specific skill set. You have Trae, everything you do defensively has to be to mask him. And in fact, you probably also need a center that's just like a lob-catching 5, all of these things. For Ja, it's almost the exact opposite. You need everybody out of the paint at all times to be able to maximize his skill set. And also, he probably only plays 45% of the games, and he's kind of a malcontent.
Oh, well, I don't know what he is. Is he a malcontent or is he just not capable of making very many good decisions? I don't know.
Why pick between the two?
Yeah, I guess. But malcontent implies, like, I don't know, he's somehow unpopular with his teammates or something like that.
Coach
Like,
hates him, right?
I have no idea. Well,
He did get suspended by the coach for poor leadership.
but the problem is if you have Ja Morant on your team, they hired the wrong coach. Like, do you remember how Taylor Jenkins' whole thing fell apart there? Because they hired this assistant who's from Europe, who's now the head coach, right? He was brought in specifically to implement an offensive philosophy and to change how they do things to more of a European pass-it-around kind of thing. Well, that's not who you have on your roster.
Correct.
That's
at all.
So this should have happened. Honestly, if Memphis knew what they were doing, this should have happened years ago. If you were going to shift philosophies, you had to change the roster. To pretend like you could change Ja into something that makes him not who he is was foolish. And even more foolish if you're going to pay him while you do it. And now, hey, give old Kyle Korver credit over there, or the owner's kid, or whoever's making the trades for Atlanta. Who cares if you got penny on the dollar, because you set the market. As bad as it is.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be worse for Ja. Who's going to trade for him?
Be curious if a team feels desperate. I'll be curious if like a Miami decides to get involved. That would be a name I would circle. But like, are you giving
Do
up
not put Ja in Miami.
I don't.
Yeah, right, no
I don't
kidding.
think that's a Spo guy. I don't.
Yeah, it
I
may not
don't-
be. It may not be. Are you like, and you're not giving up Tyler Hero for John
But-
Morant at this point, I don't think.
What about the teams who would actually pay for a player right now? Guys like teams like Minnesota that are maybe a piece or two away.
Yeah, that are
you know,
really
you're
close.
trying to catch up with Oklahoma City, and you can make the argument that you need one more good player. Like Minnesota isn't moving for John Morant. No way.
Sacramento?
But see, they don't want to be good.
Yeah. Then they're stupid. I mean, the nice thing is they're stupid, so you might be able to take advantage of them. But no, you're right. And honestly, I look at like where the Jazz are. Again, we talked about this yesterday with Trae Young. 12 months ago, I bet the Jazz would have seriously considered a Trae Young trade. Like, I think they would have probably really looked at kicking the tires. Like, what is the way to get out of this? And again, Ja, same thing. 12 months ago, Jazz probably would have been like, Ja Morant is the type of name we probably need to be willing to take a swing on to get better. The Jazz don't need that point guard anymore. The
Well,
Jazz
and
have their guy.
It would have been a horribly dumb move.
It would have been a bad move,
in
but
retrospect.
desperation causes, it's like you say, it's stinky cologne.
But you never want to be that team. Never be the desperate team. That's why sometimes the moves you don't make are as important as the moves you do. And if there would have
100%.
been people out there clamoring for Ja and it turned into a disaster, which it would because the NBA is moving, thank goodness, beyond
that type of player.
Yeah. Let alone paying that type of player $50 million or whatever Ja is making.
Chicago? But they have Josh Giddey now. Like a lot of these teams that you could have conceivably said they have these issues don't have these issues anymore. You could trade him to Chicago, but you got to be prepared to get Colby Jones back. Like that's who you're Kobe Jones. That's who you're getting. You're not getting 2 young players and 2 draft picks for Ja. I just don't think that anyone cares about him
I
anymore.
think the league learned from the Damian Lillard move.
That's a good point.
I think that taught everybody like, oh.
You know what? That's a team, though. Milwaukee is a team that would trade for Ja. But again, you're getting Kyle Kuzma. With all due respect to Kuz, who's had a much better career than anyone thought after his sophomore season at Utah, is going to make $150 million in his life. That's what you're getting back. You're getting Kuzma back for Ja Morant. Remember, Ja Morant 3 years ago was, number 2 in the most untradeable players in the NBA conversation. Yeah.
Things
Life
change.
moves quick.
It does. Comes at you fast, for sure. All right, stay tuned. We have Steve Bardo coming up next. We'll talk to him about the latest and greatest with the University of Utah. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.